99.9% of us don't live the life that the history of mankind has lived. And we're always looking for that spark to existence. We have very hard lives with stress, working to pay bills and not sleeping, not eating good food, and on it goes. So it's not easy per se, but the battle of life and death, the being on the edge of existence is what man has always experienced. But in the modern society, that's stripped away. And we are always looking for that spark. And NFL football, it really kind of offers it. It's a calling back to the old blood sports where people could watch these things. But it's even more so now because we've got a humdrum existence for the most part as far as living the intense lives that our ancestors have. Football's crazy. And when you're on that edge, of so much is at stake, the intensity rises. And I'm just throwing this thing together here. I'm going out to do one of my health sessions. I'm supposed to be over the hump, and I really do feel that. I think I'm coming back to life. And I'm not doing what I usually do I just thought about all this and I'm letting it roll. To me, I love that moment of intensity. I miss fighting. I miss playing football. I miss being able to do crazy stunts and all that stuff. It's so marginal, and if ever happens, now that I'm at 50. And I love studying the game, and I love the intensity of the moment. I am a adrenaline junkie. It almost killed me many, many times. But the AFC East, with all that's on stake, I was just thinking about it before I was running out the door. I told my wife, whoa, wait, we're going to do this recording. Like, what? It's such an intense moment. There is so much at stake in the AFC East. One team is going to have utter failure. It's going to be an abysmal season for one of these four teams, and I think there's major consequences to that fallout. I don't know who it's going to be. I hope it's not the Dolphins. But when you go over all four of these teams, where they are, what's at stake, boy, oh boy, the intensity meter is going to be so high, guys. It's going to be so high. It's going to be so exciting. There's a lot of excitement. But this AFC East, if Rodgers doesn't come in, it's going to allow the Jets to kind of flounder and be fourth, and it's not that big a deal. But if he comes, all four of these teams will be gutted. Their fan bases will be gutted coming in fourth place. So I just want to go through all four of these teams so you can get amped and psyched over this draft coming up, because it's going to be big for all these teams to not be that fourth place loser, and then get excited for this season. Whatever fan base you're in, it's desperate moment. It's against the wall, and that's intense. So I'm going to be having my notes. I'm just going to look. Like I said, I just whipped this thing together. But I think it's interesting, and it's exciting, and it's got me on edge. So anyway, quick shout out. I want to say thanks for everything, guys, for stopping by. You are the best. I want to give you a shout out. Shout out to A-Spread, my sponsor, because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. A-Spread's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Think about this. If you're one of these four franchises, the owner, the fan base, given all these circumstances, and your team comes in fourth place, oh, that is a stink. There is such drive to have success for all four of these teams. And I'm going to leave my Dolphins for last. You can skip to the end. I just want to leave that for the end because I don't want it. I mean, it would be disastrous. But I'll save that. I want to go into the other disasters that I would much prefer. Now, Jets, like I said, if they don't get Rodgers, then they can go into fourth place. It's like, another good pick. We'll find the quarterback, and you kind of massage it. Now, Salah's going to have some problems. How long can you keep going without having success and still remain the head coach? That's going to be an interesting part. And it adds to it. If Rodgers comes in and you're paying big picks and you're rushing that window of success for this team, and then you just still don't get it, and Saleh is there with all the failure, Rodgers, the wasted picks, and fourth place, it could mean his job. It could mean more than that. Maybe the GM, his career, his time in New York will be online. Woody's going to freak out, lose his mind. And it would just really gut this team, because then you'd be back at it next year and you'd have Rodgers who maybe not want to play, and you would lose those picks. It would be so crushing. Jets get Rodgers, they have to come in second place, or it's utter dismal failure. So these Jets games, these teams are going to be killing each other for these victories. Is this Belichick's last stand? There's so much on the line for him, so much talk. First it was he made Brady, then, Brady's good. And now it's Brady made Belichick. He's average at best. And you got Gerard Mayo in the background, Kraft kind of maybe siding with Jones. Maybe this is all hype. I don't know. But there is so much on the line for Belichick. His legacy, his reputation, and maybe even his time as a Patriots head coach. Now, I understand some of the stuff that's going on. I'm not one of those people who's really down on the Patriots. I think last year it was not a good move what they did at OC, but I believe it was a holding action to get O'Brien this year, because that's who he wanted. O'Brien couldn't be there last year, so this is what Belichick kind of put last year on hold for. This is what he's waited for. This is a big, big deal. He's got every duck in line. He's got all the pieces he needs in theory. He's got a big draft with many draft selections. If he doesn't make it this season, ends up in fourth, I think he will be canned goods. And even third place, what does that say? Just think Belichick sitting there, realizing everybody is diminishing his career, diminishing who he is. And if he doesn't come at least second in this division, make the playoffs, what a gut-wrenching failure. And fourth place would be doom. So just think about how intense this guy is going to be this season. If he doesn't bring his A game, he never will. That's exciting. Then we got the Bills. They've been winning the division year after year now. They have had a iron-fisted gauntlet lock on this division. And what happens if they come in fourth? If they came in fourth, I'm not saying they are. I don't see how they could, but somebody's got, one of these four teams is going to get the ultimate screw job and fourth place. But what if it was the Bills? What if Allen gets dinged or something and he misses a bunch of games or whatever? McDermott's got to be online. Certainly Dorsey's got to be online. What is Bean thinking? What is the ownership thinking of Bean? And this window, their prime window was the last 2 years. I do believe this is a good window for them. Vaughn can come back healthy. They can have a good draft. And some of these guys that have been drafted can kind of step up. It can kind of pry that window open for another season, maybe two, maybe. But this might be the end of their best window of opportunity. And if they came in fourth, to me, Allen is going to get ripped, and he shouldn't. It is ridiculous. Great news for Bills fans is Allen's going to be here for a while, and there's a lot of coaches that would want this job, and that puts pressure on McDermott. So if they came in fourth, oh, what devastation. And then, lastly, I do this reluctantly, my Dolphins. Playoffs, Fangio, spending to the hilt, bringing everybody and their mother of talent into the Dolphins organization to get the final push. Ross is like 97 years old. He's desperate with all the bad egg on his face from the past to get this win. McDaniel, he can't underachieve this year with everything that's online. Greer, I got my knocks on Greer, but there's a lot of stuff to like about what's been done. But if it comes up short, 4th place. And then you got Fangio in the background. You bring him in, he a former head coach. That puts pressure on everything. 4th place finish would be so gut-wrenching because so many Dolphin fans are desperate. We have been waiting for some kind of success. To me, nothing is acceptable except for 2nd. 3rd would be horrific. 3rd and no playoffs would be, I don't see, I do, there's avenues, but 4th would be abysmal. It would be a nuclear bomb. 3rd would be dismal. But any one of these teams is going to get disaster. And what the fallout's going to be certainly is going to be dramatic. Now, I from a Dolphin standpoint, somebody had said Rodgers signed with Green Bay, and I keep talking tough saying, I want him to come here because I want the Dolphins to walk over the bones of Belichick and Rodgers and Allen and take it and know that it's not a fantasy when we go into the playoffs and feel great that we earned it. But honestly, when I heard he wasn't coming, I got excited for a second. I got fandom in me. But after that, I caught myself. I regathered myself. I'm looking for some darn great football. I want this division to be a meat grinder, and I want the Dolphins to come out battle-tested. This is going to be everyone. I've always watched the AFC battles between each team. But this year, if Rodgers comes, even if he doesn't, it's still a 3-way team, but it's not as exciting. But Rodgers comes, this 4-way race could be some of the best, most competitive, most brutal football that you've seen in a long, long time. And that's amazing. Sucks for the one fan base and a team that's going to get the whammy. It's going to be disastrous. But my, oh my, the team that gets 1st place, the team that rises above this, they're going to be able to hold their head up high and be so amazed, proud, and super excited. All these games are going to be so fun for football lovers. Anyway, I just kind of whipped this out. Really excited. No cheesecake this time. Off to my doctor's appointment. I think I'm coming back to life. I really do feel alive for the first time in a year and a half. It's been hell. I lived my life 49 and a half or 50 years one way and then being sick for a year and a half another. I'm almost there. So I might be totally healthy for this great, epic battle or series of battles that are coming, guys. So just want to shoot this out there. Be excited. Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. Go Fins. 1st in the division, baby. Or 2nd at least. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with AceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.